Hello world, it's Hatim Tekri. Let's continue with the conditional statement. In the last video, we have covered the if statement and if else statement. Now in this video, we will understand the else if ladder and nested if. So first, else if ladder. So why we use else if ladder, or what is the need of else if ladder? So first we recap what is if statement. In if statement, we put one condition and based on that condition we perform the task. If that condition gives false result, then we will come out of the condition or the if statement, and then the control goes to the statement after if block. In that if statement, we only have the option to mention the single condition. But in case if you want to perform different task based on different conditions, then in that case you have to use else if ladder statement. For example, if you want to perform 3 tasks based on 3 different conditions, that is, first you have condition 1. If the condition 1 gives true result, then perform task 1. If the condition 1 gives false result, then check the condition 2. If the condition 2 gives true result, then perform task 2 and then come out of the else if ladder block. In else if ladder, we have multiple conditions, and if any of the condition gives true result, then the control come out of the else if ladder block and then perform the code after the else if ladder block. And if the condition gives false result, it continuously checking the next condition till any of the condition gives true result. And if all the condition gives false result, then at the end we have the default task. This default task will be put inside the else block. That else block is at the end of the else if ladder. And in the starting we have if block, then we have else if, and then at the end else block. So in this manner we write the else if ladder code. And this is a mechanism that how else if ladder work. Now we see the flow chart of else if ladder. So this is the flow chart of else if ladder. Here you see there is a multiple conditions. Now let's go through with the flow chart. First it's check the condition 1. If the condition 1 gives true result, then it performs statement 1 or task 1, and then the control goes outside the else if ladder block. And if the condition 1 gives false result, then it's check condition 2. If condition 2 gives false result, then it's check condition 3, 4 and so on. And if all the condition gives false result, then it goes to the else block and perform the default task. So the conclusion is, in the else if ladder we have multiple conditions, and if the condition gives false result, then the control goes to the next condition, and if the second condition gives false result, then it goes to third and fourth and so on. And if all the condition gives false result, then it perform the else block, that is default task. Now if any of the condition gives true result, then it perform task of that condition and the control come out of the else if ladder block and perform the code after the else if ladder block. So now move on to the program and let's see the example of else if ladder using the program. So move on to the program. First clear this. Now we define int age equal to 10. Now we write the condition like if age is less than 18, then print under 18. Then else if statement, age is less than 25, under 18 to 25. Now the next condition, else if age is less than 30, then we print now if age is less than 35, then print under 30 to 35. Now in else block, print above 35. And after the else if ladder block, print after else if ladder block. Now click on the run button. And yeah, it's print under 18 and after else if ladder block, because we have mentioned the variable age equal to 10, which is less than 18. So it's check the first condition, that is if the age is less than 18, then print under 18. Now I change the value of age from 10 to 20 and let's see the output. So change the value of age from 10 to 20. Click on the run button. And yeah, it's print under 18 to 25 and after else if ladder block. So in this case, it's check the first condition, that is age is less than 18, which is false. Then the control goes to the second condition, that is if age is less than 25. So in that case, the condition gives true result. So it's print under 18 to 25. Now I will change the value of age from 20 to 40. So let's change the value 40. Click on the run button. Now it's print about 35 and after else if ladder block. So in this case, it's check the first condition, that is less than 18. It gives false result. Then it's check second condition, that is less than 25. It gives false result. Then it's check the third condition, that is less than 30. It gives false result because the value of age is 40. Then it's check the fourth condition, that is if age is less than 35, and then the fourth condition also gives the false result because the value of age is 40. Then the control goes to the else block, that is the last block, or we can call it as a default task. If all the condition gives false result, then the control goes to the else block and it's print above 35 because the age is equal to 40. So all the condition gives false result and the control goes to the else block and print above 35. And after the else if ladder, the control goes to the statement after the else if ladder block and it's print after else if ladder block. So this is the way how else if ladder work. We have seen the flow chart of else if ladder and we have done the else if ladder program. So now we move on to the nested if statement. So first we open the flow chart of nested if. This is the flow chart of nested if statement. In nested if, first it's check the condition 1, that is if block, and if the condition gives true result, then there is the if block inside the first if block, and the if block inside the if block is called as the nested if block. And if the condition 1 gives false result, then it goes to the else block, and inside the else block it performs the if block. That means if the condition gives true result, then in the if block there is again the if block. And if the condition gives false result, then the control goes to the else block, and inside the else block you have the if block, and that if block is known as nested if block. Nested if block means if block inside the if block or if block inside the else block. So the structure is if block. If the condition gives true result, then it goes inside the if block, and there is one more if block inside that if block. And if the first if block gives false result, then there is a else block, and inside that else block there is a if block, and that if block, the if block which is inside the else block and inside the first if block, is known as nested if block. So let's see this nested if block example in the program. So move on to the program. First clear this. Edge 1, edge 2, 20. So in this program we have the first condition, age 1 is greater than 25. If this condition gives true result, then it goes inside the if block and check the condition which is inside the first condition, that is age 2 is greater than 30, then print above 30. And if the first condition gives false result, then go to the else block and check if the age 1 is greater than 10. If yes, then print above 10. So this if statement and this if statement is known as nested if, because this is inside the if statement. If you write the if statement inside the if statement, then that if statement is known as nested if statement, which is nested inside the if statement, if inside the if statement. So click on the run button and it's print above 10 because the value of edge 1 is 20 and the value of edge 2 is 30. So first it's check edge 1 is greater than 25, so it's give false result. Then the control goes to the else block, and inside the else you have nested if block, and the condition of nested if is if edge 1 is greater than 10, and the condition gives true result because the edge 1 is equal to 20, which is greater than 10. So it's print above 10. So this is the example of nested if statement. So the nested if statement is a if statement inside the if statement. So in this video we have covered the else if ladder statement and nested if statement, and we have understand the flow chart of else if ladder and nested if. So that's it for this video, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.